Today in the High Court, Laurence Fox, the actor turned politician, has been found liable for defaming Stonewall trustee Simon Blake and drag artist Crystal. His counterclaim for defamation for being called a racist was also dismissed by the court. In an exchange on X, formerly known as Twitter, about a decision of Sainsbury's to mark Black History Month and provide a safe space, Mr. Fox referred to both Blake and Crystal as paedophiles. High Court Judge Mr. Justice Collins Rice said that Mr. Fox's labelling was harmful, defamatory and baseless. Now, separate to this, in a video that I did about Joey Barton and the tweets that he made about women pundits in football, I looked at some of the comments he made where he compared Ene Aluko and Lucy Ward to the serial killers Fred and Rose West and examined them to see whether any criminal offences had been committed. And I also talked about the law surrounding defamation, especially where people have tweeted. The response to that video was quite interesting. Aside from the comments supporting Joey Barton and the seeming hatred of women commentating on men's football, there were quite a few comments that were stating that he was just expressing his opinion, and how can an opinion be against the law? And this raises a really interesting question. Can an opinion be illegal or unlawful? Welcome to my channel, Andy on Crime, where I talk about high-profile criminal cases and other aspects of criminal law in England and Wales. So the first thing to briefly say is that there is a difference between illegal and unlawful, and the two terms are often used interchangeably, and often something that is unlawful can be described as illegal in the media. Now, illegal is something that is forbidden by the law, specifically prescribed. So all criminal offences are illegal, and that's generally what it's referring to. The term unlawful means not conforming to or is not permitted by the law. So this is things like not following policy, or in the case of Laurence Fox, by defaming someone. It's not illegal to defame someone, it is unlawful. Now, returning to the question of whether an opinion can be unlawful or illegal, it's fairly obvious to say that a privately held opinion about anything is clearly not illegal or unlawful if you keep it to yourself. You can hold racist, homophobic or other deeply troubling views, but if you're not expressing them to another person or to the wider world, or acting upon them through whatever means, then clearly you have not committed an offence. Where that opinion can cross into being illegal or unlawful is where that opinion is expressed openly, for example through a tweet. So let's look, for example, at the Manchester United fan who was sentenced for wearing a shirt to the FA Cup match between Manchester United and Liverpool, where he had 96 was not enough. Now, that may have been his privately held opinion, that he felt that not enough people died in the Hillsborough disaster, which is a horrific opinion to hold in the first place, but says a lot about the man himself. But the fact that he then went and expressed it by putting it on a shirt which could be seen by other people meant that his privately held opinion was now in the public domain, and therefore his opinion was illegal because he had expressed it openly. And it can be the case where someone's opinion that's been publicly expressed does not cross that threshold to be illegal or a criminal offence, such as this case where the question was, were the opinions of Laurence Fox unlawful and therefore defamatory by calling Simon Blake and the drag artist Crystal paedophiles? And similarly, in his counterclaim, was their response in calling him a racist also defamatory? Now, to bring a claim of defamation, the test is as follows. The person bringing a claim, known as the claimant, must prove that the defendant's words are defamatory, which I'll explain in a second, and that the words refer to the claimant, and that the words have been published, such as through social media. And words are considered defamatory if 1. They tend to lower the claimant in the eyes of right-thinking members of society generally, and or 2. They cause the claimant to be shunned or avoided, and 3. They expose the claimant to hatred, contempt or ridicule. Now, in the case of Laurence Fox, calling someone a paedophile may well have been a genuinely held opinion of Laurence Fox, but without being able to prove that this was the case, and I don't think it was ever argued in the trial that Laurence Fox genuinely held this view, and there is no evidence that Simon Blake or Crystal are paedophiles, it clearly met the test for defamation, and therefore his publicly expressed opinion was unlawful. Now, the judge in the case stated that Mr. Fox's labelling of Mr. Blake and Mr. Seymour as paedophiles was on the evidence probabilities and facts of this case seriously harmful, defamatory and baseless. The law affords few defences to defamation of this sort. Mr. Fox did not attempt to show these allegations were true, and he was not able to bring himself on the facts within the terms of any other defence recognised in law. And they added that the issue of damages and other remedies would be discussed at a later date. So to summarise, someone's privately held opinion, which then crosses into the public domain, does risk being considered illegal or unlawful, particularly if those views are particularly nefarious, such as racist, homophobic or other types of views. Now that's not to say that you cannot say anything. The right to freedom of speech does not mean freedom from the consequences of that speech. And in the case of Laurence Fox, his comments in labelling people paedophiles was found to be defamatory, and he was found liable for defamation. That's all for this video. If you do have any comments, then please drop them down below. If you did enjoy this video, then please do give it a like. And if you'd like to see more from me, then please do subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Take care.